Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cape Complainers. Joining me, as always, are my fellow complainers. This episode, we have Devin, Reed, and special guest star, John. Say,
Hi, everybody.
yeah, there you go. Say something. There's usually always dead air. John is my brother by birth, and he's going to be joining us for this episode. And today's episode,
I'm the rightful heir.
yeah,
One might even say the prettier brother.
I mean that's not wrong. I've always said that he's the prettier brother.
So is Mom.
Yeah, Mom is gorgeous.
So is
No,
everybody
Mom
else.
always said it.
Yeah. So today's episode we will be discussing the new prequel movie to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Wonka. But before we do that, we have Devin and his thoughts. Devin, what thought do you have for us
These
this
are
week?
always my favorite.
They're mine too.
One on the chat. It was about age, right? It's the one that I said a few days ago.
Yeah, you might be the only one, John.
Yeah.
Greg loves them. Okay.
Mainly because I like how they confuse and upset Greg.
Because they're not thoughts. Like most of the time, it's just like, okay, great.
They're never thoughts.
Yeah. Okay.
Literally anything is a thought.
All right.
I think you're forgetting this.
Then what is your thought?
I don't remember where I was with Casey when I had this thought, and I don't remember what we were talking about that made me think about it. So just bear that in mind. But you know how when you're in high school, there's a very clear acceptable age range to date. Like if you're a senior, you don't date a freshman unless you want to be ridiculed, right?
Yes.
No.
Okay. At some point in time,
I'm sorry I was so cute and hot in freshman high school.
Yeah.
Sorry.
On the field, play ball.
At some point in time, that acceptability ends. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to date someone 4 years younger than you.
Okay.
When does that happen?
I've been trying and it's not working. What's the age? Okay, so you're
Cut off.
Like at what point are you like I'm 20. I can date someone 4 years younger than me because that's still someone who's 16. So clearly that's not okay. So like at what age point does that hit? Because Casey said they're 20s, but that example that I just gave does not work.
okay.
I would say 30.
So 30.
When you hear like a 40-year-old dating a 30-year-old, you're like, oh, okay, that's not that bad. But if you hear of a 30-year-old dating like a 23-year-old, it's like,
Whoa.
it's like whose parent are you friends with in that relationship?
That is a good point.
Yeah.
And also,
I remember why I had this conversation.
Also, who's trying to be the same age as the other one? Is the 30-year-old try and keep that youthfulness and date a 23-year-old and oh yeah, I'm 30, I can still go out and do all this, or is a 23-year-old like I'm tired of all these naive, I'm older than I look, age or mentality, and like
I mean, I guess it goes both ways because the reason I've had this thought, and I remember now, is because I met Tim's girlfriend.
I met a 19-year-old.
And I went to Max's wedding.
We really hit it off. Yeah.
Well, when we were hanging out with Max, we found out that his wife is older than him, which is fine. But she graduated the same year my brother did.
Mm-hmm.
And Max is a year younger than me, and my brother is 2 years older than me. So in high school, that would not have been able to be a thing. I mean, I guess it could have been, but it probably would have been frowned upon. But now it's totally fine. So my question is, at what age or what time does that feel like it's okay? Is it like, oh, I'm 25 and now there's a 20-year-old and now we can fresh out of high school?
What was that sign? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable even giving advice on this subject. But I guess well, my old theater teacher back in high school, he's 10 years older than his wife. I believe he taught her at one point.
That feels wrong.
That does feel wrong. And that's kind of like where I'm at with that. It's I feel like 10 years is way too big of an age gap. I'd say like the max age that I feel like there should be in between is probably 5. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But then the parameters of those 5 ages, 20 to 25 is okay, I think is what Devin's saying.
Yeah. If you're like 20 and
18
if you're like 20 and 15, yeah, that's wrong. But like once you're past like the actual.
Once the younger person is at what age is it okay? Like at 20, is it still okay? Fresh out of somewhat fresh out of high school.
I'm gonna say
in college?
I'm gonna say 26 because you need a little bit of time to grow up. When you're 20, fresh out of high school, you still got some learning to do. And I feel like
20 fresh out of high school.
Wait, y'all didn't get held back?
Wait, high school's supposed to be 4 years?
Wait,
not 6?
what? My mom lied to me. Well, no,
said it was okay.
No, well, I mean, like you've been out of high school for like 2 years. How about that? Sorry, you've been out of high school. You need some time to grow and figure out who you are. So, like, don't be jumping into bed with the first 80-year-old guy you see.
So you're saying for most people, by the time they're out of college, out of a 4-year college,
I'd say that's fine. Yeah.
Now, is this older? Like, say it's a girl. And is the gentleman her senior? Is he going to be helping to pay for this college?
Then that's a different story. Yes, do what you got to do.
Then that's just financial security.
Yeah, that's planning ahead.
Got a plan.
Yeah, it's planning ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you got to give head to get ahead.
Greg, how old? What is the age difference between you and your girlfriend?
That's what my collar tattoo's going to say.
Age difference between me and my girlfriend?
Yeah.
She's older than me by a year.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
See, Casey's older than me by 3
I was about
weeks.
to. Oh, okay.
Exactly.
I think we were gonna say 3 years. I was like, how old is Casey? Jesus.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's the gray hair makes me look older.
John, what's the age difference between you and Amanda?
A year and a month.
Nice.
Reed, what cradle did Christy rob when she found you?
8 months apart, so it's not bad. I'm the youngest out of her and you and all the friend group. So
yeah,
I am still 31.
You're 31.
So I will be 32 in May.
How old am I, John? How old are you?
Isn't she 33?
Christy? No.
Yeah. Oh, I would have thought that. Oh,
Wait,
she turned 33 in August.
Yes. I will be 32 in May. So.
All right.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, it's not a great thought, Devin, but I'll give you honorable mention just because we have a guest. That was
Hey, maybe we clarified some things for some confused listeners who are like, I think I want to ask this person out.
Oh,
maybe I should check their age range.
I mean, we did talk about it pretty good.
Oh, it's because you're on your phone. So
it's because I'm on the phone.
John did the thumbs up and a thumb icon came up on his phone.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
For all the listeners out there.
Yeah, I know, right? All 2 of you.
Devin, good job.
Hey, if I'm not out there, who's listening to this podcast?
I know for a fact Amanda's not. My girlfriend hates us. Yeah. All right.
Who inserted the cricket noise?
It's a soundboard we have on Discord.
Wow.
Okay.
We should add more to it. It's
so,
fun.
all right. So it's not a great thought, Devin. So thank you.
So
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So
thank you, better brother.
He really is. So today, let's go ahead and drift into our topic. It is Wonka. As we said at the top of the show, it's the new kind of prequel movie to the old Gene
improved.
Whatever. It's a prequel movie to the. I guess it's supposed to be a prequel movie to Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, but
Who?
Gene Wilder, the guy who plays Willy Wonka in the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Not Charlie.
Timothy Chalamet.
Shut up. Anyways, so right off the bat, one of the big reasons why I didn't like this movie, it's not the sole reason, but it's the biggest reason why I hate the movie. I cannot stand Timothee Chalamet. He
was
is
the best part of the entire movie.
He is.
He is the titular character.
Let me tell you why.
Any scene he was not in, I was not interested.
Let me tell you why. He is an untalented hack. Could not act his way out of a paper bag. He was 100% the wrong choice to play Wonka. Everything he spoke was cringe and stupid. And it's not just because of him. Like, the whole movie in itself is charmless to me. And
Are you kidding?
The whole movie was charmless.
The whole movie is all charm and fun and magical.
There were
you have no child's heart or inner imagination.
He likes to be Halloween. We know this.
There were 2 moments in the movie I did enjoy.
Oh, he counted them.
There were 2 moments in the movie I enjoyed, but as a whole, the whole movie is a boring, unoriginal mess. All the songs,
this podcast.
Yeah, all the songs were lazy. I didn't care for any of the music. The acting was okay in parts, but as a whole, I found the movie charmless. So
explain the lazy music. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so the best song in the whole movie is the "Come With Me."
I'm not asking for the best song. Give us the ones you think are lazy.
I'm telling a story to why I didn't like it. So the best song in the movie is the "Come With Me and You'll Be," because they didn't write it. Every song that they wrote was trash. The "Scrub Scrub" and then the "Do You Have a Sweet," like all of them were just really lazily written. It was like they was written by Chat GTP, and it was just it just was charmless to me. It ruins.
Well, I guess the question is, was this written during the writer's strike?
I think it was. I really think it was, because it just wasn't a good movie. And I feel like the people who really enjoyed it are just trying to ride the coattails of Timothee Chalamet. Like, if Timothee Chalamet wasn't in it, I feel like people would hate this movie a little bit more. But the mere fact that his little dumb little rat face is in it, people are like, oh, this is gold. But since I've ranted a little bit, I want to hear it from people who did like this movie and explain to me why. Because I see absolutely nothing redeemable in this movie.
So before we move on, I would like to offer up a suggestion for a week coming up in the future to review. If I remember right, Greg used to wrote a Batman script somewhere and sent it to me. And we should read that Batman script and come back and review it.
No, don't. Let's bury that deep down. But I mean, I don't know. Let's hear from y'all. I assume you all enjoyed it. From the sounds of y'all fighting back at me. So
I didn't watch it.
Nailed it. If it wasn't here, someone had to.
Never heard of it.
The one that watched it, I probably liked it more, I guess. It sounds like.
I enjoyed it.
Tim also liked it.
Yeah, but the ones that hear, as I said.
Yeah. So here's the deal. The movie started, and the first words out of my mouth was, "This is a fucking musical." Disappointment. That's the first words out of my mouth. Because I'm not a fan of those all the time. And then it started exactly like Sweeney Todd, dude coming on a boat, singing his feelings, walking into town, singing his feelings about what he wants to accomplish. What's up?
The original was a musical.
Well,
I didn't know that there was an original. I thought this was an original prequel.
Wait, hang on. You've never seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
I have, but this is not it.
Oh,
no, I knew that.
Okay.
I thought he meant like there's another version of this movie.
Oh, okay. Right.
But still.
Yeah. Well,
B, I'm gonna get my complaints out first.
Okay.
Remember two.
B with 2 fingers up. This was not the prequel story that I wanted to hear.
I agree, 100%.
Shut up.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Okay.
The prequel story that I wanted to hear was it may have just been in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory version. But at some point they talk about why there's no human workers in the factory, and it's all Oompa Loompas, and it's because people were like stealing his secrets and selling them to other companies and blah 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 blah. That's the version I wanted to see. I wanted to see.
Oh yeah, let's have a story of enslavement. A
No,
story
because
of
they're working.
I want a story about economics.
Yeah, I felt like it would have been more interesting than some like chocoholic town.
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I'm saying?
they're not even a chocoholic town.
You tell that to the priests
It's just that
and the
certain-
chief of police.
Well, no, yeah,
that
the
marketplace.
chocolate is so like hard to come by, so like that's why they're so important, and like they can kind of rule this whole town by chocolate. It looks like John got saddled with the baby.
And you would think that big chocolatiers wouldn't set up shops right next door to each other. Like that doesn't make sense.
They were in cahoots. That was
They
the
were
whole
the
thing.
cartel.
Well,
They had the mafia over
I
everything.
know that, but it doesn't make sense business wise. Why would you put up 3 chocolate shops in the same spot when you should separate so you can each have your own market? It doesn't make
Because
sense.
it sounds because
No,
you're
so
sharing
they
the
can
chocolate.
Yeah, they can monopolize the whole town.
Yeah, they can be in charge. But okay, Devin, what did you
I mean, I get that.
what did you like about the movie? Because I have nothing.
Timothy Chalamet was okay. I really enjoyed some of his sweeter moments with Noodle. I was not a big fan of Noodle. She was kind of annoying.
I agree.
I really liked. What's his name? Almanac? No.
Almanac.
Abacus.
Abacus.
I liked Abacus. But I also liked Key. I thought he was funny. I think Tim wrote this in one of his things, like, when you notice that he started getting bigger and bigger in each scene after eating all the chocolate, I thought that was hilarious.
Michael Key, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of
I've
the
grown 150 pounds in a week.
Yeah, that's one of the funny moments that I did have in the movie. That I will say, whenever just watching him progressively get bigger was funny. But okay, so
the main, like, what do you call him?
My baby was crying. What were y'all talking about?
Keegan Michael Key getting bigger in each scene.
yeah,
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Devin's talking about what he liked about the movie so far.
This is actually something I didn't
Did
like.
I miss what Greg liked?
I didn't like anything.
Apparently, yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing.
The front man for the what do they call it? The chocolate
Cartel?
the chocolate cartel. You know what I'm talking about?
The front man.
The front man.
The uncle of Noodle, I guess. That's what it would be.
Slugworth.
Yeah. Every time he talked to somebody, he looked like his facial expression made it feel like he was about to get on his knees and suck a dick.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I'd watch that movie.
When are we reviewing that?
Chocolate cannot buy you.
Yeah, we'll read.
It was like it was that, but he also had that like big eyes and coy smile, like ooh.
We'll read. What about you? What did you like about this movie?
I liked
Timothee Chalamet.
Well, not just him, but I liked everybody. I liked all the choices of who they chose for these roles were good. I think they were good. Oh my gosh, I thought it was hilarious of the I don't know his name, the comedian in the show. And
Shuttlesworth? Is that his name?
Yeah, and his greatest talent is I can talk underwater, but like, you know, I thought that was hilarious. And like Timothee Chalamet is like, all right, how can we make a plan to where we have a communication specialist? This person can do this. This person can do this, and a comedian who can talk underwater. How do we get all that into a plan? Mm-hmm. So he uses everybody and their special talents into one big grand plan. and the comedian guy acts as a zookeeper. Hey, quiet down, you monkeys! And all the other people are making monkey sounds. And he's like, I wish I could do it. It's so funny, but like, and you too, octopus. You know, I thought that was hilarious. But I thought all the choices were good. It was heartfelt. It was uplifting. It was magical. Like your lazy music. You know, the plinky piano. the melodies and the light songs. There's no belting out, no big songs, but the feelings were felt. Were big.
Greg, your microphone is filthy.
I know, it's got cat hair all over it.
Yeah, he showed it to us earlier.
Yeah.
But it was a better movie than I thought it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be a musical, but I did enjoy that. I'm not one that usually does, but I like the way that they did it.
I will say, one of the things that I did like that I think Reed is kind of getting at for me was I liked hearing the background of Wonka, because and when you first watch Willy Wonka, he's a showman, yes, and he's crazy, yes, but in this you learn that it's because he's always wanted to be a magician, and so all of these tricks and magic and like showmanshipy things come from his love of magic before his love of chocolate.
His dedication of, I had this dream, I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to do everything I can to make it come true, because it is something I'm felt and connected to with my mother. And so it comes from a great place. The story comes from a great place.
I rolled my eyes big time whenever he finally opened up the chocolate and there was a golden ticket in it. I was just like, oh my God. It's just pandering. Like all the things that y'all are saying that you liked about this movie.
John, I will let you in. If you don't know already, if there's something made before and there's something new that's supposed to be its own thing, Greg always judges this new thing on what's already been made.
Well, yeah, if you're doing a prequel
he doesn't separate the two. It's always compare the nostalgia to what's new.
No, if you're doing a prequel to the original thing, like, do it better. This one didn't do it better for me. It was pandering.
I bet you hate the Phantom Menace too.
Hey, I used to, but I do have a new love for it. But
I will also say that if you don't know, anything that everybody else loves, 99% of the time, Greg is going to absolutely hate.
Yeah.
Well, I like I said at the beginning, I really hated it just for Timothee Chalamet. But
so you couldn't even give it a chance.
No, as I watched more,
you never had a fair chance because you have a seething hate for Tim for some reason.
Yeah, as I watched the rest of the movie, he was terrible, and as was the rest of the movie. I didn't like Noodle. I didn't like some of the side characters are okay.
So you hate orphans.
Yeah. Fuck you, orphans. I've had enough of y'all. Y'all have had it too good for too long. But
and
too good? Are you serious?
Yeah. Sound clip.
Yeah.
So, okay, John, you never shut up about Timothee Chalamet. So I would like to give you the floor to tell me what you liked about this movie.
Timothee Chalamet.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Well, explain why you liked the movie.
So, I did get a little bummed whenever they had the first trailer drop for Wonka, and it wasn't, exactly what I hoped it was going to be, because whenever they released the first images of, our Lord and Savior, Timothee Chalamet, and it did have...
Praise be, praise be, praise be, praise be.
Yeah. And it had a really dark tone to the photos. He had that, the red jacket. It was kind of torn. It was tattered. And, I was like, ooh. And just thinking about, the original movie, Gene Wilder, he was a sick fuck. People were dying in those movies. So I was like, oh, we're going to see, kind of a darker side of Willy Wonka.
Well, we didn't
growing up.
Yeah, Gene Wilder's kids weren't the first killings that Wonka did.
Well, we didn't get any on screen.
Died before he got the factory.
None of the deaths were on screen, but it is implied that they died. I don't think they truly did. But okay, go on.
Oh,
yeah, the chocolate cartel who flew up in the sky and at some point had to come down.
Yeah, that's his first death. That's his first killing.
First, second, and third.
Yeah.
So I was a little bummed whenever they released the trailer, and it was like this, the happy, the bright, it's like, listen down and sit up or whatever it was that he said.
Quiet
And
down.
then he was like, no, quiet up and listen down or whatever it was, and like scratch that, reverse it. And I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of cheesy.
This is gonna be stupid.
Yeah, because that's our callback.
Yeah.
Quiet
then-
up, listen down.
Yeah, but then I watched the movie, and I'll be honest, I did not have high hopes for it. But after watching it, I was like, man, this is just such an uplifting movie. It had moments where I was like, oh man, that was a very cheerful movie.
Yeah.
My little green box keeps coming in and out. I don't know if you guys are hearing me.
No, you're
yeah.
good.
But cool. But yeah, I was genuinely like, oh, you know what? I didn't need to have that, that ridiculously dark storyline. It was like, this was just something to kind of, put on, watch, just kind of fall into the movie. It was a nice, easy, wholesome watch. It was just nice. There were nice, there were cute moments, and I'm gonna be honest, I really liked Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa.
I thought it was a fun way to make an Oompa Loompa, very formal and stuff like that. But I don't know about Hugh Grant. But
well, yeah, watching Hugh Grant, you could tell he didn't want to be a part of this movie.
I think in an interview he literally says, I don't know what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel like he just genuinely did not want to be there. Yeah. And it shows in his performance.
That's why I liked it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, I've already started dancing. I can't stop.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, even in the portrayal that Timothy gave, his storytelling of
don't you like
hey, I'm talking. So his storytelling, you can tell the genuineness of like this story and this it again, like you can feel his dream and his wanting to, I'm not going to let this get me down. I want this dream. It's mine. I'm not going to let them take that. So
I also like that, he really liked, he put a lot of trust in, people.
Yeah. Or not just the trust, but yeah, the inclusiveness and the...
What's the stupid thing you said the other day, John, that like the coin that Wonka drops in the drain is the same coin that Charlie finds? I'm just like,
yeah.
Like what? Like that's stupid. I don't know. Like all of y'all.
It's not. It's a fact. You go back and you watch the original, the exact same storm drain that coin falls in, where he finds the, what do they call that?
A quarter.
Sterling.
Yeah, coin.
Sterling, I think.
A money.
Sovereign.
Yeah, shilling.
Sovereign.
That's yeah.
God.
Don't
yeah,
yell.
It's the same storm drain. So, his last little sovereign was the one that Charlie finds in the storm drain to win the golden ticket.
That Charlie stole. That gutter rat robbed of
He found it.
That gutter rat robbed a hardworking man of his last shilling. Now,
well, didn't it just go back to Willie in the end? Because he paid for the chocolate?
Well, it could have been the candy shop's sovereign.
No, because the way wholesale works, once it leaves the distributor, then it, once it leaves the manufacturer, it goes to the distributor, then goes to the retailer. It's technically not in possession for the producer anymore.
Yeah.
But I digress.
But okay, here's an interesting thought about the original Willy Wonka. At the beginning of that movie with the candy shop, this dude's throwing out candy to everybody, but he charges Charlie for his little chocolate bar, and he's just throwing it away at the beginning of the movie. It's a poor business model.
Yeah. Because
nobody wants cinnamon fireballs all the time. And
Greg, have you ever heard of marketing?
Well, Charlie's just sitting there pouting outside the window. I'm like, go in. He's literally giving away free shit, and he's just
well,
like,
here's the thing. That that like worker is based on you, Greg, and when he sees an orphan, they gotta pay. But
Yeah.
everyone else
gets candy. Orphans get a boot.
Be
Get out of
gone,
here.
you gutter
Yeah,
rat.
it's also he's offsetting the price, Greg. So
Yeah.
with the price of that candy bar, all of these other little chocolates are basically paid for with the cost of that other chocolate bar. Yeah, you got to read. You got to read in between the lines here.
Yeah, you
The
got
fine print.
Yeah, you got to take an economics class before you come to
see another Wonka reference. You got to read the fine print, Greg.
There you go. Also, Wonka can't read. That was a weird addition. But
I mean, I'm not surprised.
It helped. Whoa.
Bye. Anyways, but
hey, which one is he?
It's Devin.
That one's Devin.
That one's Devin.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
All right. So Devin just left.
Which one of you is Reed? Reed. Got it.
The good one.
Yeah.
All right. And who's Filippo?
Filippo's not here. He's the one that always wearing the baseball cap and never talks during the episode.
And his camera's never on, so you wouldn't know what he looks like.
Yeah. All right. Devin's back. Anyways.
Is that him?
Yeah, this is Devin.
This is Devin.
So now I feel.
So Greg,
which
one of the Caped Complainers is your favorite?
Tim. Actually, no, it's Reed. Reed's definitely my favorite. He's the sweetest of the bunch.
Hey.
He's the sweetest. We don't deserve him. Yeah.
I call BS on all of that.
No, he's always.
I like his hair.
Yeah, he's got the coolest hair.
That's not a dig at you, Devin.
No offense.
Well, now it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had great hair at one time, but not right
I did. You were there when I had great hair.
Where'd it go?
Yeah.
In such a short amount of time.
Then I blinked and it was gone. But okay, so I feel like y'all really enjoyed the movie, and I feel excluded. I wish I enjoyed this movie. Y'all do bring up good points. It is a whimsical movie. Yes, look-wise.
We'll miss you in heaven.
But for me...
Hey, if you want to enjoy this movie, just get a heart.
Well, no, for me...
Get a heart, Tin Man.
For me, it's a very boring telling of it. Reed said it earlier, I think, saying that it wasn't really the story I wanted, and it's definitely not the story I wanted.
I didn't say that.
Story.
Devin said it. Devin said it. Sorry.
It's my full luscious hair that made you think it was Reed.
Yeah. But it just wasn't. It wasn't a very well told story. It could have been really good if they didn't do Timothee Chalamet, and just actually told a more interesting story. Like, some of the bits were great. I hated the whole washroom slavery thing. I'm like, okay, we could have done without that. I think the movie would have been better.
What would you have put in there instead?
Yeah, what would be your hardship?
The whole movie, there shouldn't have been. The hardship would have been just focused on the three chocolate dudes hounding Wonka the whole time, putting him down. Wonka's trying to find that perfect product, and that could have been enough.
Them easily.
Well, no, because that's how they wrote it. But that could have been the whole driving force for the movie. That maybe even Wonka didn't quite. He was a magician, so maybe focus on that. And he wanted to do the chocolate thing like his mother, but like maybe he couldn't get that, so he needed help from the Oompa Loompa. Maybe build that more. Like, a lot of the plot didn't need to happen. Like the whole milking a giraffe with Noodle at the zoo, I don't think needed to happen. Noodle, didn't even.
How could you have a giraffe macaroni?
Yeah, Noodle, we didn't need in the movie at all. Basically, the whole
on orphans. There it is again.
The whole movie could have been driven by Wonka versus the chocolate people. Like, the chocolate people could see that Wonka is growing. They just focus on taking him out. He keeps growing. Then something happens, knocks him down. They could have taken out, but they could have taken out the whole subplot.
Versus the chocolate people.
The whole movie, the whole movie could have been a little bit better, and also don't have Timothee Chalamet in it. And then I think I would have liked it more. It just wasn't. It wasn't how I envisioned Wonka starting. and I don't like it. Yes, Devin.
I don't love being with them. It's not. I didn't hate it, but I also did not love it.
Okay.
I was indifferent. I would
Yeah.
not watch it again.
It's definitely not going to be one where like, hey kids, let's sit down and watch Wonka.
Yeah. However, other points that I had issue with in the movie, I in no way do I ever, in my wildest dreams, would I believe that this like dumbass like laundry service workers would be able to figure out like how to poison his chocolate with his weird ass ingredients.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna know like, oh, I'm gonna poison it by putting this in there. No, fuck you.
Yeah, where did they get the Yeti hair?
I guess they took it from his little bag. But
yeah, his suitcase had all his ingredients that he needed.
Even
but
that,
how would they know what to put in it without making it?
They just put everything.
I'm sure he
in
has
his,
labels.
Yeah, something in his suitcase that they found.
and
Well,
I
they
think
wouldn't know what it did.
Well, exactly.
Yeti cooler.
and I think that would have been more interesting. Seeing him get his ingredients to start his chocolate and all that stuff, like that's like makes it.
Do you think that
You watched him
Wonka's
milk a
shopping?
giraffe. You kind of got to see that.
Anything besides milking a giraffe, like getting a Wookiee sweat, that sounds fascinating. I'm like, how do you get that? That would be really cool to
Possibly.
see. Like, I feel like
Yeti.
watching him
Yeti.
gather his ingredients would have been a cool addition. Besides the garbage at the
Wonka shopping would have been a better?
yeah.
my other like
Wonka goes to HEB. It would have been great. Yeah.
you expect me to believe that while they're all sitting in their little room jail cells out their barred windows, they're like chucking chocolates with perfect accuracy.
Yeah, I mean,
across to like an old man without his glasses. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I don't know. But for me, the movie just didn't hit the right notes. It wasn't for me. And like I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but anybody besides Timothee Chalamet, I maybe would have enjoyed it a little more. I didn't like
Who specifically?
Jeremy.
Do you know how many notes? Do you know how many correct notes it hit, Greg?
It hit 2.
No, it hit 628.1 million notes.
Yeah. Well, okay. The notes that it did hit, I did like the Keegan-Michael Key progressively getting fatter each time we see him. And then it's a very dumb.
He gets an advance in his chocolate.
Yeah, it's a very dumb thing, but I really liked the way Hugh Grant said,
Hello.
Oompa loompa loompa dee dee. I really liked the way he said that, and that's it. Those are the only things I liked.
very formal.
Yeah, just the way that he sang that first beginning part of the song. I'm just like, okay.
I loved
that's
watching Mr. Bean question his Christian values.
Yeah, Rowan Atkinson. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one thing.
I'm just a human. I've got.
Yeah, I agree with John's. Whenever Rowan Atkinson showed up, I was like, okay, maybe this is gonna get better. But even he was just kind of
like, now it's a movie.
Yeah, that role was kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. So
You didn't like the built-in love story between Basil and what's her name, Gwenny?
well, no, like I said, that whole subplot.
That was a funny little connection.
That whole subplot didn't need to be in the movie, but
Didn't need to be in the movie.
I wasn't. Anyways, well, let's go ahead and get into final thoughts and Kate.
Can y'all hear my wife?
A little bit.
We can hear. Blah, 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 blah.
Shut up. So let's do final. Let's do final thoughts and Kate. Let's do final thoughts and capes. Devin, let's hear your final thoughts and capes.
I would just like the world to remember that Greg hates orphans.
Yes, thank you.
And I would be remiss if I were to say that I wouldn't be disappointed if that wasn't mentioned by every single person here.
Put it on a shirt.
Make it a
Black
sticker.
orphans.
No, it has nothing to do with the color of their skin.
Black women orphans.
No. Okay.
The movie, like I said, I could take it or leave it. It had nothing to do with Timothee Chalamet or anyone else. I'm not. It has to be the right music, like style of music and stuff, for me to really like a musical. and this was not it. The best parts for me were Rowan Atkinson and Keegan Michael Keel.
Key.
Mr. Key. Mr. Key.
Keegan Michael Keel.
I would rate it a 5.
Okay.
Questionably.
I was gonna say
How
5
many
or 6, but
Chalamets?
I'd say either 4 or 5. How many Chalamets?
Yeah, how many Chalamets do you give it?
So 4 out of 5 capes, but Timothee Chalamet, like 10 out of 10.
Okay. Reed, final thoughts and capes?
I
Chalamet.
enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. It was uplifting. It was I like the innocence of Wonka in this. Him starting out. It was a good. I thought it was a good origin story. Very interesting. Very fun. Whimsical is a good word, as said before. So
Really good word.
yeah. So that word encapsulates it, and so I enjoyed it. I'm not one for musicals. I didn't think this was really going to be one, although the trailer did show that daydreaming one, but there was more to it, and I still liked it. So I will give it 8 out of 10.
I love how in this episode, anytime Greg has to like roll his eyes because we said something about Timothee Chalamet or anything else, he can't just roll his eyes. He rolls his whole head.
Yeah.
So you can see it.
Great actors and actresses picked to hold these roles. So,
especially
the accountant,
the orphan,
especially the orphan.
Which Greg hates.
How many Chalamets?
I don't understand this new measuring of Chalamet.
So capes are the overall movie. How did Timothee Chalamet do?
Timothee Chalamet did good. He did good. There were some points where he held a funny face for too long, and they kept it in. So
how many Chalamets?
So I'll give it 9 out of 10. He was good.
Not as much Chalamet as I expected.
Yeah. But those
Chalamet enough.
He held weird things for too long, trying to be funny, but it was just weird.
Well, I would say blame that on editing because they could have edited that crap out.
That's true, I guess. So with that, I'll give him 10 out of 10.
They were trying to force a laughter by the unfunny actor. That's all they tried to do. But okay, John. John, final thoughts of capes and Chalamets.
Pass.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, overall, it wasn't the best movie in the world, but, I think they did a good job with, what they had. And, yeah, I just think it was just a good, fun movie to go see in theaters or just, have on in the house. I don't quite understand. So are capes are y'all the capes?
It's 1 out of 10 stars. Like say how good the movie was. We just can't say capes.
Like Chalamets.
Well, Chalamets are just for Timothee Chalamet.
Yeah, Chalamets are how good did Timothee Chalamet do in the movie. Capes are how good was the overall movie.
1 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
10 being great, 1 being garbage.
I give it 6 capes out of 10.
Okay.
And I give it all the Chalamets. As many Chalamets
as allowed, even beyond.
If I could borrow a couple of extra Chalamets,
take out a loan.
I'll Chalamet you back.
You can take all the ones that Greg's probably not going to use.
No, I secretly think that Greg likes Timothee Chalamet.
He's got him
in all honesty, he doesn't. Greg, you're full of shit, and I'm going to call you out on it. I genuinely don't think that you actually hate Timothee Chalamet. I think you really like Timothee Chalamet.
Jealousy.
On the wall
the
wall that you can't see that's behind the camera is just littered with Timothee Chalamet
it's
photos.
All Chalamet.
It's just
show them. So full disclosure, I'm the conquistador.
No.
Big reveal.
Here. Whenever y'all were talking about who Timothee Chalamet would play in the MCU, and I sent him pictures of like AI generated photos of Timothee Chalamet as Galactus, and they're great.
Yeah, I never showed them that.
Greatness.
I just closed my phone. I didn't give it a second look.
Just throw it across.
Yeah, I just have scribbled on my wall, "Why can't I be him?" And so yeah, okay.
He has Zendaya and I have nothing.
All right. Well, my thoughts are, it was.
Give us some new thoughts that we haven't heard this whole episode.
Yeah, don't beat that horse anymore.
It was a boring movie.
Don't mention Chalamet.
It was a boring movie. The songs weren't up to par with what I would have wanted. It's not the story I would have wanted.
Heard it.
Well, there's very little else I could say. So
give us two things that you liked.
Other than the things that we've already heard.
And you can't say I liked the title of the movie.
Two things I liked about the movie that y'all didn't hear.
The other thing must be I liked Timothee Chalamet.
I liked the flashback scenes with Wonka and the mother. I think the mother was a very, very sweet woman.
The only scene that didn't involve Timothee Chalamet.
Yes. I do have another complaint. Is
we didn't ask for a complaint.
I don't have many likes. But whenever they're in the chocolate vat, isn't chocolate thick? Like, don't you like just drown in it? Like, how are they floating in it? But I don't know.
They're probably swimming, Greg.
Okay. Anyways, my capes are. It genuinely probably owes me a couple of capes. Like negative I'm negative capes in this. It did absolutely nothing for me. And I'm probably going to give my Chalamets away. I hate it. I hate him. I hate him.
You want to divvy up these Chalamets?
Yeah, he's an untalented hack who got lucky and doesn't deserve all of his roles that he has.
We should put him and Michael Bublé into a fight and see who wins.
Now you leave the boobs out of this. Bublé has done nothing wrong.
I will punch you in the face.
Whatever. All right. Well, let's.
What's the deal? Why not? Why don't you like Michael Bublé?
He's a talentless hack who doesn't create his own songs and just skimps on the coattails of others, like a little bitch.
There's a bunch of covers.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're all Christmas. But I will say, there you guys have it.
And they're
Greg
all
was
Christmas.
given the opportunity to say he
man
liked
has a hobby.
The Little Orphan, and still decided
and danced around it. You know, whenever Wonka puts his hat and coat on his cane, that is a better Wonka than Timothee Chalamet. And with that,
I bet that was his choice. I bet that was his only acting choice.
That was an original
Orphan too, Greg.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and end the episode there then.
Wait, Greg, so you're saying you do like orphans?
Yes, I love orphans. I never said I didn't like orphans. Y'all just gravitated towards that I didn't like orphans.
What happened to Wonka's parents exactly? Mama died?
All right, anyways,
in the picture.
let's.
Papa never raised him.
Hey, Greg, I don't see any Batman paraphernalia in your room. He's an orphan.
Ooh.
Actually, I have a whole bunch of Batman Funko Pops. Anyways, we're ending the episode. So, thank you all for joining us for the Cape Complainers.
Make sure to check out our Facebook and Instagram, as well as our TikTok.
Is this, Greg, you said this is the part I'm not supposed to interrupt?
Correct. Don't.
Nailed it.
Okay.
As well as our TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube.
And if you are so keen to listen to a bunch of people and their opinions that are sometimes wrong, sometimes right, check us out on all of the little podcast networks. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. If Tim has been uploading it a whole bunch of places, and don't forget that nobody complains like a fan. Thank you all so much for joining us. John, thank you for being here and shutting up.
June 2, now in theaters. Check it out.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Oh, and he's playing Bob Dylan.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Timothee Chalamet.
Everybody say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy